Some have accused me of clickbaiting, but I assure you this is not an educational video to promote world peace. Instead, voluptuous, nude Amazonian women will rub together their breasts. But first, I'd like to talk to you for just a moment about the Sabra and Shatila refugee camps where Palestinians were murdered by Israel. All liberal political videos are clickbait since they never deliver on their promises. When Barack Obama promised change, he might as well have said, "Nude Amazonian virgins." Welcome to the 11th episode on Israel. This shit is longer than Judaism itself. If Moses was subscribed on YouTube, he would have said, 11 episodes? I told God I had enough of Judaism after 10 commandments. Actually, this series is more like the Bible. The older half that's Jewish, nobody listens to. Now, the previous episodes were narrated by an alien who traveled to Earth to promote world peace. Oh yeah, that worked out great. Other than the fact the alien is now dead. I guess the alien had about as much success brokering peace in Israel as the United States. It's a shame he never got to see much before he died. The Gaza Strip, Syria, and the Federal Reserve. Not exactly the most fun tourist attractions. How come we never took him to Disneyland? Well, America's Middle Eastern wars are similar to Disneyland. Only a child would believe the stories are real, while an adult just notices how overpriced it is. Now, we know the alien can time travel. I'll bet he died in 1982 Lebanon, since in the previous episode, we discussed Israel's horrible invasion. Israel only went into Lebanon to stop the PLO's rockets from hitting northern Israel in an operation called Peace for Galilee. Instead of going just 25 miles north as promised, Israel instead went all the way north. So Peace for Galilee quickly turned into Death for Beirut. This is a bunch of bullshit. You're acting like Israel's some type of horrible villain, when in fact both the local Lebanese Christians and Muslims both supported Israel to come in to chase out the foreign PLO. Hey, that's a great point. Except for the fact that Shiite Muslims turned on Israel for staying way longer than expected. Well, everything is longer than expected when your previous war was 6 days. Maybe long occupations are a condition for American money. You've got to make the wars last longer. I don't get my money's worth when you win in 6 days. Okay, so my theory is the alien died in the Sabra and Shatila refugee camps. This incident happened after Israel's siege on Beirut. To get the PLO to leave Lebanon, the United States brokered a peace deal where the PLO agreed to leave if in return Israel would protect the Palestinian civilians that previously the PLO had been protecting. This is where if the alien was alive, he would say, "I'm confused. What are you trying to say?" That Israel violated the terms of the deal by allowing their Christian allies, the Phalanges, into the Palestinian refugee camps to slaughter thousands of innocent Palestinian civilians and Shiite Muslims. What a great use of American money. Maybe the Phalanges are named after the finger, since that's what they communicated to American diplomats. Or better yet, when you're fighting against unarmed civilians, that's the only part of your body you have to move. Welcome to Phalange Combat Training. So to spray bullets into crowds of unarmed women and children, I need you to pass this basic fitness test. Work it with me now. Push it. Let's go. Cramp. I need to give up. Even if there was wrongdoing, you're trying to smear Israel for crimes they didn't even commit. It was other groups in a foreign country that did it without Israel's permission. You haven't even tried Israel for the crimes you said that they did in their own borders. You might as well down all airplanes out of Tel Aviv. Sir, this plane is flying over northern Africa. So? Well, you're now responsible for all the crimes the local governments commit. As a matter of fact, you've been convicted. When we land, you'll be taken to prison. That's ridiculous, because Israel armed, trained, paid, and fed the Phalanges. Yo mama used to bark orders and feed you. Is your mama responsible for your war crimes? Really? Yo mama jokes? Which is an ironic way to defend against mamas being killed. Israel's own government admits to wrongdoing. They created a commission to investigate into the crimes at the Sabra and Shatila refugee camps called the Kahan Commission. They probably could have picked a name that doesn't sound like Genghis Khan, who conquered land with murder, but hey, it's the thought that counts. The Kahan Commission found that Israeli Defense Minister Ariel Sharon bore personal and direct responsibility. The very fact that Israel even has a commission shows how they're much more humane than you put them out to be. think an Arab country would have a commission? Maybe if you did not kill a civilian. Order in the court for the Arab Commission. Why did you let that Jewish grandmother live? I was about to slit her throat, but she guilt-tripped me out of it. She said, couldn't you at least get into medical school or even be a lawyer? Maybe that's why Israeli fighters are so resilient. If they could survive their own mother's criticism, what's a bunch of bullets? Sharon testified to the commission that he knew about the massacres going on Friday, but he didn't order them to stop until Saturday. On a side note, Israeli Defense Minister Ariel Sharon was such an obese man, he later died of a stroke after spending 8 years in a coma. Maybe doctors would have diagnosed it sooner, but they were used to him just standing idly by. One moment. Sir, I'm being told that the people are being massacred. What should we do? Ariel Sharon said just stand there. Yup, that's a direct order. You're being ridiculous. Even if he knew that crimes might be committed by others, that's not the same as doing crimes. If it was, then let's haul off to jail any parent who ever did a photo op with Joe Biden, because you can't trust them around the kids. At a minimum, it's negligence. Ariel Sharon admitted to the commission that he allowed the Phalanges to enter the camps. How could he not realize the long-standing feud between the Christians and the Palestinians? That's why the commission recommended that Ariel Sharon resign. No jail time though, because he isn't committing crimes. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if the Israeli government pardoned Thanos from the Avengers movie. They'd ask, well, which half of humanity are you killing? You're misrepresenting what Ariel Sharon said to the commission to purposely smear Israel. He approved the Phalanges to enter the camps strictly to root out PLO terrorists, not to kill civilians. Consider these two conflicting views that you have. 1. Israel was negligent for not policing various groups from entering the camps. 2. Israel was horrible for continuing to occupy Lebanon long after the PLO left. So you're saying, how could Israel not police these areas that they didn't leave fast enough? You might as well complain about the crime after America withdrew from Vietnam. Let's play the clip of you doing this earlier, but substitute in the background what actually happened. Hey, that's a great point. Except for the fact that Shiite Muslims turned on Israel for staying way longer than expected. The real hypocrisy is that Israel promised to protect the Palestinians as part of their deal with the Americans. Instead, they transported the Phalanges to the Palestinian camps and aided them by lighting the night sky with flares. How could Israel be innocent when they gave the Phalanges more supervision and aid than you get on a Cub Scouts wilderness adventure? I gotta survive Cub Scouts camping? I don't know how to light my own fires. I need Israeli flares. I only taught me how to use my finger. According to a New York Times article, they found M16 bullet boxes in Hebrew writing. In addition, they found good old United States Army rations, which were used to feed the killers. Of course, I'm assuming that the United States Army rations didn't taste so bad that they were the murder weapon. The Israeli Forces Observatory area directly overlooked the scene of the crime. Now, you could argue on that particular day it might have not been manned, but they found Hebrew newspapers dated with the exact date of the massacre. Are you sure that the New York Times is not just counting any newspaper not critical of Israel as Hebrew? It was the PLO that broke the deal because they continued to have guerrilla fighters among their population in Lebanon, mixed in with civilian clothes. The problem is that you're labeling all Palestinians as terrorists. According to the Kahan Commission, one of the lower-level soldiers asked his superior, "Why are we killing pregnant women?" The response he received was, because women will give birth to terrorists and children will grow up as terrorists. How can Christians kill pregnant women when Christianity forbids abortions? Maybe women in America can exploit this loophole in your logic by declaring loyalty to Muslim militias. I'm sorry, ma'am. We can't perform that abortion. Allah Akbar! Death to Zionists! Oh, in that case, I got a dirty hanger right here. Let's rip that baby out. You seem to have a huge issue with Christians killing Palestinians, but make no mention of Palestinians killing Christians, like the Damor massacre, where over 500 Christian civilians were slaughtered by the PLO. Not a peep from you. Maybe that explains Christian tombstones. Because of left-wing brainwashing, the only time it's safe to openly display a cross is when you're already dead. I never said that that event was okay. I said that the United States should not be arming Israel when they're arming mass killers. But first, a word from our sponsor. This massacre was brought to you by America. Pledge allegiance to the flag so we can drape it over your casket when you die. Call to order your flag now and we'll throw in free ammo. By that I mean U.S. Army rations. Let's say you're right, which you're not. What does this prove? That was 1982. What does that mean now? Does it mean that Israel should not exist? No. Does it mean that the terms of a peace deal should be changed? No. Does it mean that terrorist groups are justified with their attacks? No. This debate is a taste of socialism for you, because your hard work gets you nothing. Oh shit, the alien is resurrecting back to life. Wow, a resurrection is ironic. For Christians killing him. So did you go to the Sabra and Shatila refugee camps? Oh hell nah, you dumb bitch. I went to South America. They got Amazonian titties.